Get ready with me while I tell you about the time my 2-year-old got drunk at the White House and met the president. We were living in Virginia at the time, and my ex-husband was in the military, so we actually got invited to 4th of July at the White House. They were actually serving beer and wine at the event, and I had, I'm pretty sure, a beer, and my ex-husband also had a beer. My son was 6 months old at the time, and it got very hot in DC over the summer, and he actually got overheated, so I actually took him to the medical tent to cool down for a little bit. I was gone for probably about 20 minutes, and when I came back, Grace was literally on the White House lawn, spinning around in circles with her arms out, just like having the best time ever, and I looked at my ex-husband, and I was like, what is wrong with her? Is she okay? He had no idea what was wrong with her. And then a couple minutes later, he went to take a sip of his beer and it was completely gone. That was when we both realized that she had drank the rest of his beer. After a little bit of investigating, we realized it wasn't really enough for us to be concerned about her overall health. She was just feeling a little tipsy. Shortly after this, President Obama and Michelle come out, and it's time for us all to meet them. So everyone's standing in a line, and President Obama and Michelle are all going up to individually to every person and greeting them and saying hello. And it comes to our turn, and Michelle, I will never forget, looks down at Grace, and Grace is so giggly and happy, and Michelle says, oh, she's so cute. She had absolutely no idea that this 2-year-old little girl had had a little bit of her dad's beer and was actually a little bit tipsy. And one of the funniest parts of the story is Grace is actually now 14, but when she was in 1st grade, her teacher actually emailed me, and she was saying, oh, Grace is actually at school lying about how she got drunk at the White House, and she's like, I have no idea how she came up with this story. Can you please ask her to stop telling these lies at school? And I actually had to email Grace's teacher back and tell her, I'm sorry, but she's actually not lying, but I'll ask her to quit talking about it. Grace is 14 now, and she has the most epic story to tell now when she goes to parties. And that's the story of how my 2-year-old got drunk at the White House and met the president and the first lady.